Okay, hello. So this is going to be the first part of a video series on watercolor techniques. So if you were absent from class on the day that we did the second part of watercolor techniques, this is one of the videos that you're going to need to watch. This is a three-part series. This first one is going to be over gradation and salt. So I'm trying to get that to focus. I don't know why it's not focusing. Maybe it will when I put my hand here. Nope, didn't do it. Let's try it again. There we go. All right, so you'll notice that I have my watercolor paper, my pan of watercolors with all my colors primed. I have my water, and I have a towel over here. Those are all things that you're going to need to do this. Okay, so we're going to start off, separate your paper just with a Sharpie. On one side, write salt. On the other side, write gradation. Okay, and the first thing that we're going to do is the gradation part. So I'm going to use lots of water, and I'm going to just pick up a color here. I want it to be a nice, wet, full brush. All right, make sure that it's really watery. And then I'm going to just paint a line over here. Okay. Then to create my gradation, I'm cleaning out my brush. I want it to just be water. I'm going to go with plain water, which is actually a little bit blue now because I've changed it. And I'm going to paint a line down here with just water. I'm going to bring that water up to my painted line, and you can see what happens there, right? I'm wiping the color out of my brush. I don't like that part that did that, so I'm going to make sure there's no color in my brush. I'm going to go back from the bottom to the top and create that really nice gradation. I can also lift my paper and let it kind of flow down. Take a minute to do that. All right, something that maybe you can notice here is that the difference between a gradation in watercolor and a gradation in acrylic or oil is that usually with acrylic or oil, you know, you'd start at the top and you would just go down. With watercolor, you start at the top and then start at the bottom and then meet in the middle, and that's how you get that nice smooth transition. Okay, as far as salt goes, do the same thing. I'm going to get a nice, I'm going to use a dark color because I feel like it works better with dark colors, so I'm using some violet here, getting it nice and wet. I'm going to get a nice full wet brush, right? The paper is dry. Paint an area. Like that. Now I don't want it to be shiny wet. I want it to look like it's soaked into the paper a little bit, so I'm going to hold it up so you can kind of see that. I'm just going to give it just a second to soak. And then with salt, so I open my little salt here, I'm going to take just a few granules of salt, not very many. I don't want to like have a pile of salt, just a few granules, and I'm sprinkling that on here on the part that I painted, and it's still wet. All right, and then we just sit and watch what happens. Don't brush the salt off right away. So you're done with this one, put it to the side. I don't know if you can see this already, that the salt is starting to absorb the color of the paint around it. It will take a few minutes for this to work, so put it aside and let it do its thing.